Romans 3:19. Now we know that whatever the law says, it speaks to those who are under the law, so that every mouth may be stopped, and the whole world may be held accountable to God. Whether it's the Old Testament law that the Jews lived under, or the law written on our hearts, talked about in chapter 2, that we all live under, there is no escaping our guilt. The picture I heard in a commentary was one of a person on trial, shown so much evidence against them that they were literally like speechless. They had nothing to say, so that every mouth may be stopped and the whole world may be held accountable to God. That's what it's like. We're on trial and the evidence is stacked against us. This is the end of Paul's argument that both Jew and Gentile, which represents humanity, are guilty of sin, falling short of God's standard, and need to be made righteous, in right standing with Him, if there's any hope. For the last 62 verses, starting in Romans 1:18, Paul has put us in our place. One argument after another. He's giving us no wiggle room to defend ourselves. This is the bad news. And there are all sorts of ways that we try to respond to the bad news. None of it helps. We either try to work our way out of this pit that we're in, try to offset the guilt. That's what verse 20 is going to get into. Doesn't work, spoiler alert. Or we avoid the truth. We try to rewrite the narrative. It's not as bad as we think. I'm not as bad as so-and-so. I've done X, I've done Y, I've done Z. And some of these things might be true, but they don't help us. Another way is we deny God. We deny our conscience. We try to convince ourselves, we're just animals living out our lives on this rock, and nothing ultimately matters. I don't know anyone that actually lives that way or believes that for too long. We all ultimately feel that things matter. That's because it's written in our hearts. That law written in our hearts, it's too hard to avoid. And so some of us just end up numbing. We numb the shame, we numb the guilt. It doesn't work either. And I know because I've done it, I've tried to escape the guilt and the shame. I couldn't. I tried to be better, but it never seemed like I was good enough. I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't like so-and-so. I compared myself to others, but there was always someone better. There's only one way out from under our sin and our guilt and our shame, and that's by God's grace. That's it. God's grace, His love, His mercy, His compassion, revealed through Christ. Paul is going to spend the rest of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 fleshing out the gospel. We finally are getting into the good news, and it is so good. So if you've stuck with me through Romans 1, 2, and 3, the hard work of understanding Paul's arguments, thank you. It's going to pay off. The more we understand the bad news, the better we understand the good news.